Hi everybody, and welcome to the audio version of the Exploration Weekly Newsletter, this time for the week of June 4th, 2021. Apologies for the sound quality of our newsletter this week. This is what happens when you travel for the first time in well over a year and you forget to pack the microphone. Thank you to Jules Ramos and Heidi So for putting up with me this week. And now, the news. YouTube says it paid out $4 billion to the music industry over the past 12 months. YouTube paid out more than $4 billion in royalties to artists, songwriters, and rights holders, according to a new blog post from the streaming giant's global head of music, Lyor Cohen. He continued by saying YouTube has paid over $4 billion to the music industry in the last 12 months alone, and has added more paid members in Q1 21 than any other quarter since launch. He also added that the money was derived from ads and premium subscriptions, and that more than 30% of that $4 billion came from user-generated content. The blog post explained that YouTube's aim is to become the leading revenue generator for the music industry. Spotify co-founder and CEO Daniel Ek announced that his company paid out over $5 billion to the music industry in 2020. We're continuing to innovate with direct-to-fan products such as ticketing, merch, memberships, paid digital goods, and virtual ticketed events, he wrote. Twitch disappointed with music publishing industry as it's hit with 1,000 copyright infringement claims. Amazon-owned live streaming platform Twitch told its users on May 28th that it's been sent a batch of new copyright infringement claims from music publishers. The company sent out an email stating that these new DMCA takedown notifications include about 1,000 individual claims over the use of copyrighted music played in the background of recorded on-demand videos. In the email sent to users on Friday, shared by journalist Ron Breslow on Twitter, Twitch stated that this is our first such contact from the music publishing industry. Twitch states that it believes that music publishers used automated tools to identify the copyrighted music in its users' clips, and says it expects there will likely be more takedown notices on the way. This new round of DMCA takedown requests follows news from October that thousands of videos had been deleted by Twitch over infringement notices. Then in March, the site added tools to make it easier for users to manage takedown requests and delete clips to avoid strikes against their channels. Spotify's Discovery Mode being probed by House Judiciary Committee. A new feature Spotify is testing out in a pilot program has caught Congress's attention. Discovery Mode, which was first announced in the fall, lets artists and labels agree to take a lower royalty rate on certain tracks in exchange for higher priority in its algorithms. Spotify's November 2nd announcement described its personalized recommendations as complicated and said it wanted to find a way to account for an artist's priorities while also ensuring listeners are getting what they want. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Representative Jerry Nadler, the Democrat from New York, and Subcommittee on Courts, Intellectual Property, and Internet Chairman Representative Hank Johnson Jr., Democrat from Georgia, are concerned the program could lead to lower pay for artists and fewer choices for consumers. On Wednesday, they sent a letter to Spotify founder and CEO Daniel Ek requesting more information on the feature. This may set in motion a race to the bottom in which artists and labels feel compelled to accept lower royalties as a necessary way to break through an extremely crowded and competitive music environment, states the letter. Spotify, which has not yet responded to a request for comment, has been instructed to answer their questions by June 16th. Apple's 2020 App Store billings grew by 24% to $643 billion. Apple says that its App Store ecosystem facilitated $643 billion in billings and sales during 2020, a 24% year-over-year increase. So this is not just purchases of apps and in-app purchases, but also the money generated by apps selling other kinds of products and services, from groceries to taxis. Apple's report claims that 90% of total billings and sales occurred outside of the App Store, while noting that small firms, defined as those with fewer than 1 million downloads and less than $1 million of annual revenues, are 90% of its App Store developers. On the same day the report was published, the European consumer organization Lobby Group joined the EC's music streaming antitrust case against Apple as an interested third party, saying it wants to ensure Europe's consumers have access to a full range of music streaming services without their choices being unfairly restricted or prices being artificially inflated. European Commission to review TikTok's consumer policies. The European Commission announced that it recently had a formal dialogue with ByteDance social app TikTok to review its commercial practices and policy. This is focusing on consumer rights, or areas of specific concern including hidden marketing, aggressive advertising techniques targeted at children, and certain contractual terms in TikTok's policies that could be considered misleading and confusing for consumers, as the EC's announcement explained. The formal dialogue process gives TikTok a month to reply and engage with the Commission and its network of consumer protection authorities. That's all for me this week. Don't forget to click subscribe for more great content from Exploration. And as always, don't forget to be kind to each other.